Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. How you doing everyone? I am your host with the most, Malc. Tonight with me as always is the greatest American commentator of them all, and on his hometown Grand Prix is the legendary Tim. How you doing mate? You alright?
Hey Malc, it's good yet again to be here for another Invictus Racing League race, and as you said, home track again, so it's going to be very exciting. Yesterday we saw a really great race in the Performance League, and I, for one, learned a lot about tire strategy here at this track, and was actually kind of surprised to see some drivers stretch the soft tires to about 10 or 11 laps, but that's really about as far as they're going to go, as now we actually see plenty of drivers coming out, Mike being the first one to start his out lap.
Yeah, so we're going to watch from Mike's point of view, unless there's anyone that you want to watch so far, Tim. But with the US of A Grand Prix, just as a recap for the new guys in the F3 as well, what did you think of the track? Have you been to the track before or not?
I have not been to the track. Actually, I live 17-hour drive away from the racetrack, so sadly I have not had the opportunity.
Oh, I bet that was one of your checklists to do in the near future, to go and see your hometown Grand Prix at the US of A. Yeehaw! Will it be a yeehaw moment here for Mike to get his pole position lap here? We're starting off with the qualifying here. Good evening to everyone that's joined the session. How are you doing everyone? I hope everyone's all okay and well. Before we carry on, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here as well. Good evening to Jeffrey, who's just joined us with his brand new start on the Invictus Racing League as well. And good evening to Kyle and William. They're rooting for Rymac here to do well here tonight in the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. So we're going to do the qualifying lap proper here. From Mike's point of view here, we're going to down the DRS straight now. We've started the finishing line straight. Now we've got yellow flags at the 3. We're still, it feels like you're going up the hill here on the blind left hand here. Some of the cars will have to wait there at turn 1. You have to be absolutely spot on there with that turn. Then down the hill here. It feels like you're on a roller coaster here into turn 2 here. And then this is the part where all British drivers remember. It's like the Mackett and Beckett's corner where the S is, and unbelievable stuff here. And then the end of the first sector here, and then into the second one now, and then coming up to, which is the usual parts here as well. We're going down the hill again with Mike's car here. He is on top form from 2 weeks ago, but he had a struggling time last week, if I remember it right, but hopefully he'll come back as stronger than ever before. We've got the blind sun there as well. We've got the DRS straight now, the main DRS straight for Mike here, coming up to the hairpin corner now at this point here, and then coming up to, which is the end of the second sector here. The third sector is absolutely tricky here because it feels like you've got short corners here, and this is the part where I'm just seeing right here, right now, the most awkwardest corner that you ever see before you have the most right-hander, flat out right-hander here. If you get it spot on, you get it absolutely perfect here, and he does that perfect there, Mikey. He does that as well. Come up to the blind left-hand corner now. Come up to the at the end of the last corner here, and that is the qualifying lap here, and the time to beat is a 134.1. A 134.1 here tonight, Tim. Who are you watching so far?
Watching Tennis as he crosses the line. Now he's starting his flying lap. And now Rymac has set a time, a 134.266, just a little bit off of Mike. But now Gasto up to the top of the board, a 133.995 for Gasto.
That's magnifico. Gasto. Unbelievable stuff there into pole position there. He's only done it by 2/10 here. He's only done it by 2/10. Now, the strategy to go for from the strategies of the US of A Grand Prix, it's definitely a one-stop. Oh! F1 Richards going to pole position here, 133.7. A 133.7. That's a good time there. The one-stop strategy is the soft mediums to go for, and he will always be there. Oh, Luke Bailey is in pole position now with a 133.4, Tim. Unbelievable times here with nearly the full grid. Only Nice Niels is the only one who's the absentee tonight here. Otherwise, this would be one hell of a race as what we had last night in the Performance League.
Last night's Performance League race was absolutely crazy. If you guys watching today, if you have not seen it, go back and watch it sometime when you get a chance. You will not regret it. It was amazing. If the race tonight can be half as good and just half as action-packed as that, we will have a crazy and stellar race. As now Nitro Gash has rocketed to the top of the board, a 133.3.
Oh, unbelievable stuff here. We've got the two Red Bulls to give us some wings here. Where's Tinnis now? Tinnis has come up to the final corner now. And what time has he got? Oh, he's invalidated lap. He's invalidated lap here. Is anyone you watching so far, Tim?
Ask me the question again, Malc. I do apologize.
Sorry, I'm just saying, who are you watching so far in this frantic qualifying here at the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League, and the glorious race on the US of A?
Well, currently I'm wondering what's going on with Tinnis, as he's got 2 laps on his tire, so apparently both of his laps have been invalidated at this point. Just behind him on the leaderboard is Vodstech 94 in the Alfa Romeo, currently riding on board with him on his outlap as he winds down to complete that here in just 1 corner from now. So he's going to want to try to beat Nitro Gash's time of a 133.3, but right now he actually seems a little bit under powers. But now that he's came around the final corner, he is starting up that uphill turn 1. And this is going to be, hopefully for him, a good lap.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have to wait and see what he can do here as well. Williams says Ryan needs a hot lap. He does need a hot lap. He did a 134.2 on the medium tyres here as well. But the one to look out for at the moment here is Mike with a 134.1 on the mediums. Oh, Tinnis, who's had a bad time there with the qualifying. He's had a bad time to retire with 11 minutes left of the qualifying here. So yellow flags at the 3. So I don't know what happened there with Tinnis, to be fair, but hopefully he'll bounce back here, so he'll have to start at the back of the grid unless there's any other drivers who do not make their times at this qualifying here. So Vodtek is doing his lap here. He's coming up to the end of the second sector now. With the times coming in, Tim, is there anyone that you reckon that would do well near the end of the qualifying?
Well, here recently we have seen the likes of Rymac and JSP, the newcomers just from a few weeks ago, doing very, very well. So I would not be surprised to see them get closer to the top of the board. F1 Richard, who's already sitting in 3rd with a 133.7. He got his first podium earlier in this season, and he's starting to show some speed. So I wouldn't be surprised if he can challenge Nitro Gash, or at the very least hold that podium position that he's in right now, and maybe even translate that into a podium finish in the race. You also have F1 Mr. Key down there, who does not have a time yet, and we have yet to see what Jeffrey Hinney can do, as this is actually his first F3 race. Yeah,
I've seen Jeffrey Hinney before, and he does do well on the races he can as well. But Jeffrey did a 136.825. Vodtek is hitting the 132s now, Tim. He's hitting the 132s. And speaking of the devil here, F1 Mr. P, the man with the plan here, with a 132.926, 600 quicker than Vodtek. Tim.
Yeah, that is a stellar lap, and so very close. Like you said, just 600ths of a second. Look at how close that is. You have to look at it and just soak it in, because that's the close battles that we're going to see in the race today.
Absolutely unbelievable stuff here. I'm going to go and watch JSP now. He's coming to the end of the first sector now. We've got yellow flags at the 1. Yellow flags at the 1, just for a brief moment there. Okay, we've got yellow flags at 1 and 2 here as well. I think that someone's just trying to save their tyre wear. Might be, I don't know. But JSP and Draghi are the only ones who have not had a time yet whatsoever in the qualifying here. At the moment here, Tinnis is the only one who's had the unfortunate DNF earlier on in the qualifying. And it's unbelievable stuff here. Spud and Ben Ricard are the only ones that are hitting the 135s with the hard tyres here. So they're trying to build up their confidence with the slower tyres first, and then try and build it up to try and get closer to the soft tyres later on tonight here. But with the driving as well, with Spud in the lead, Tim, and F1 Richard only like 7 points behind in second place, and Luke Bailey's in 3rd place as well. Do you think Spud has got a chance now to try? He needs to do something in the qualifying, obviously, but do you reckon he'll do well in the race?
Well, it's most definitely possible. And Sir Spud, we've seen something out of him here in the F3 League that we haven't really seen in the Performance League with him.
Ooh.
He's, just been running so very well, and, he even walked away with a win. So, Sir Spud, he is definitely one to watch all season. I think he could very possibly do well in this race, and he only has a lap on medium tires, I'm pretty sure, with a 135.3. So, I want to see what he can do on soft tires.
I reckon he'll probably hit the 32s, knowing his look. He'll probably hit low 33s, high 32s. That's what the guys are doing at the moment in the top 2. And I'll tell you what, Rymac has gone into pole position here. Unbelievable stuff there with a 132.861. The fans who are watching Rymac here tonight will be absolutely delighted at the moment. I know it's early doors. I know we're already over the halfway marker here, but like I said, yellow flags at the 2, but Rymac will be in pole position here at the moment here. But Vodtek moved up to 3rd, Mike moved up to 4th, Gasto moved up to 5th, so Nigel Gash is dropping himself down here as well. But watching Stephen now did a 134 flat here, still yellow flags at the 2. Is anyone you watching so far, Tim?
Well, I'm watching Rymac, but I'm actually looking down the board, and Sir Spud has improved his lap time, a 133.7, and that's on the medium tires that he just fitted not too long ago. So he has not yet made a lap on soft tires. So already a 133.7 on mediums. I really want to see how fast Sir Spud is on softs. I think that he might be a contender for the pole.
Might be, because the time difference between the tyre wears between soft and mediums is 1.404 to be precise. So if he does get the perfect lap, I'm just saying this, if he gets the perfect lap, it will be a 132.3, which would be 5 tenths quicker than Rymac's at the moment here. But Nigel has got a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Mike. So I'm not sure what happened there. So at the moment here, Nigel Gash will have a 5-place grid penalty here. So we'll have to wait and see what happened here between Mike and Nigel Gash. I keep saying Rymac here. I do apologise to the guys here. It's my fault there. Nigel Gash and Mike there. So something must happen there. So the guys there. F1 Richard is moved to 5th now with 133.1. So the guy. So it's coming in now. The tyre wear is going to kick in. Sorry, the track is building up with the temperatures here. Is there anyone that you think that could do a shock here tonight from outside? Probably outside the top 5, maybe? Tim?
Well, JSP for sure, because, he has shown some pace, and synchronously as well, actually, because he showed some decent pace, but right now he's sitting in 13th with a 133, and that's on soft tires, so he seems to be struggling here just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he's struggling a bit synchronously, but hopefully he will bounce back here as quickly as possible. But I don't know if he's going to try and do another lap in. It looks like he's got a little bit wide there into the 3rd sector here. But with 4 minutes 45 left on the qualifying here, who will stop Rymac in pole position here in 1st place? Will anyone try and stop him? Will it be Mr. P? Will it be Vodtek? Or will it be outside the top 5 here? Unbelievable stuff here. But what can Synchronously improves, Tim. He has just only improved, but he's in 133.6, Tim.
Yeah, a 133.6 indeed, and that's good enough for 12th, but it's definitely not as big of an improvement as he would want to see. And now it looks like Sir Spud is actually fitting the soft tires, so look for him to come out here before too long. Meanwhile, Rymac still sets atop of the board with a 132.8, followed by F1 Mr. P. Vodtek still be F1 Richard, who has improved his time to go to 5th place. Mike in the Haas, Gasto, Nitro Gas, JSP, and Luke Bailey are in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, but that will be changed obviously because Nitro Gas had a 5-place grid penalty. Again, I'm not sure what happened between himself and Mike, so that'll have to be reviewed after as well. But Nigel Gash, wherever I'm seeing, if he stays there, he'll drop down to 13th place here. So hopefully he'll try and improve quickly as well. Steele has left the session, so hopefully he'll come back in as quickly as possible because he is in 4th place here. So one of the Mercs in the top 4. Dre Gio has left the session. Oh,
interesting.
Have you been disconnected?
That I have. So apparently we are having some technical difficulties. Please stand by, everybody. If for whatever reason the stream has to end, we will start it back up as soon as possible.
Unfortunately, guys, we're not sure what actually happened there. So I'm sorry to all the disappointment here, guys. This is the very first time it's happened to us during the live stream when we got disconnected during the qualifying, which we haven't had for a very long time here. So hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later here to find out what's going to happen here. But if you bear with us a sec, guys, we will try to make sure we can get back in to the party here. Hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later. So at the moment in time, it was going to be a good qualifying here tonight, but we won't know if Rimac would have finished in pole position here. Tim.
Well, it's definitely very possible that he could have. And Rimac, you know, as I've said, he's really having a lot of pace here. But an issue with him is that I don't believe he's gotten a podium since he's joined us, you know, about 3 or 4 races ago. Just because, you know, he's been in the position for the podium and he's definitely got the pace for it. But it's always came down to time penalties for him.
In a way, some drivers will be lucky, some drivers will be not, because obviously the guys who are in the top 5, they will be absolutely annoyed because I think they would have done a really good lap and holding on there. Just want to see as well, but hopefully we'll get that confirmed in a moment or two. So for the guys who are watching, we're so sorry about this. We just got disconnected from the session here, so hopefully we'll get back in with a brand new session. Hopefully we'll get that confirmed again. So with this, from what you've seen so far, do you think there'll be some more shocks along the way from what you saw so far, Tim?
Well, there definitely could be. And, you know, speaking of shocks, you know, he was the first one that we saw get disconnected from the session just there. But Steel B66, you mentioned that he was sitting in the 4th position, and he was looking really well. And, you know, I'm not saying that he hasn't, you know, shown pace this season, but, you know, normally, especially in qualifying, he's a little bit more, you know, toward the mid-pack. But today, he really stepped it up, and he was in 4th. So if we can get this race started, that will probably be where he ends up starting. And so that might be a bit of a shock, and we might have a surprise podium finisher or even a surprise winner.
Might have to be as well, but I don't know which one to pick, but we will try and find out what's going to happen here tonight as well. From what I'm seeing here is we might have to be with the positions that the guys were just been before we kicked off as well. Like I said, this is the first time all of us have been kicked off during the F3 league, so this is the very first time in a very long time that we've all had the disconnection issues. So I'm hoping we'll get back in as quickly as possible here. So for now, so we'll just try and wait to see what's going to happen here so far. If you like, well, I was going to say, if you got any questions, guys, about Invictus Racing League in a general stuff, hopefully we'll answer your questions here as quickly as possible. But I think from what I'm gathering here as well, we might have to do the straighter race on the positions that the guys were in the qualifying on, so before we got kicked as well. So we'll just get that confirmed as well, Tim. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll get that confirmed in a moment or two. So there'll be a new lobby, Tim. There'll be a new lobby. What they're going to do, we'll find out in a moment or two, guys. So if you want to get a quick drink, get some food, and enjoy the ride here, because we were about to kick off with the Invictus Racing League in a short while. Anyway, just try and check if the invites are in. Not yet. Just let us know if you do get one, Tim. But with that, it was just weird how we never had that before from us. You've never had that for a very long time, have you, Tim?
Actually, I think the only time that something like this has happened was during a performance league race last season. That, or maybe an F1 race, you know, and it was with you and me, we were commentating, and I think it was after qualifying that it happened, but it's, to my knowledge, it's never happened in the middle of qualifying like that.
No, like I said last night, everything was all perfect, everything was all fine. We're just not going to see what happens here for tonight here. But for the guys who are watching the stream, we do apologise. Just going to find out. Right, we're going to confirm, Tim, that, and for you guys watching live exclusive, is we will have a new lobby. We're going to go straight to race with the formation lap as well, but also we'll try and get that confirmed in a moment or two. Just try and check that confirmed. Just still waiting for the invites again, but we will get back into it. We will get everyone in and start the stream as well. But if I may have to restart, I may have to stop the stream briefly, and then we'll have to go straight to restart it again. But we're just going to get that confirmed. So just see what happens here so far as well. Sorry for the repeat, guys, because we're just trying to figure out, just try and wait for the invites before we go back in as well. With 19 drivers here tonight, it's one of those where anything could happen here. It's like a horse racing. You just never know which one to pick to win the race at the US of A Grand Prix team. Is there any tips for the guys here? That have you driven around it before?
Honestly, just watch out for really difficult. I like the track, but turn one going uphill, and it's just such a blind, left-hander that you really got to know where that corner is going to come out just so you can get the line through there right. Otherwise, your lap time's just going to be suffering.
Absolutely. Especially the third sector as well. You have to be absolutely spot on with that as well. But you just never know what to expect as well. You just never know what to expect on here as well.
Yeah, you said it was like horse racing, though, and we do not bet here in the Invictus Racing League just simply because, well, we don't have a way of doing that. But if we did, I would hope that my luck would be better than horse racing, because currently I am at a 0 for wins in horse race bets.
Don't worry.
That might also be because I haven't placed any bets on horse races, but hey.
Yeah. I said...
I'm holding out hope.
Yeah, I said before that Jos, who was in the Performance League on the Tuesday nights, where we thought that, I thought that Jos would have just easily, because every time when he comes back to race, he's always get in the podium, always guarantees to either win or get a podium. And the one race where I nearly said, I'll bet on that, nearly got that, and Jos made a little bit of mistake and he dropped himself down to the grid at the back as well. So it feels like it's a commentator's curse every time we say who's going to do well, who's not going to do well as well. But I'm hoping everyone will do well. I hope everyone makes it clean and fair racing here. As always in the Invictus Racing Leagues, they've always been fair as well. But I will do the advertisements if we get confirmed of the formation lap. If not, we'll do it at the end of the race itself. But is there anyone just trying to is there anyone that you think that should do well with the top, like with the qualifying that you saw before we get kicked off as well? But is there anyone that you think that could do well tonight?
Well, I mean, definitely Rimac for one, because it looks as though he's going to be starting on the pole officially. That will of course be confirmed here very shortly, but it appears as though that's what's going to happen, is Rimac starting on the pole, and it's not going to be his first pole in the Invictus Racing League, though he's definitely someone who can do well. The thing is like I said, he has been on pace for podiums week in and week out since he joined the league just a few races ago. But it's always came down to time penalties for him. That's, took him away from getting that win, or took him away from, getting a podium. So he's a driver that can do well, and I look for him to do well, because I really feel like this could very well be his race. And F1 Mr. P, he's shown some speed, definitely. Botchtech still really, I'm just looking down the list. I'm looking at our qualifying list right now, and the better question is, do I see anyone who I don't think can do anything? And I don't. Each and every driver to me, has been fast at some point in this season that just anybody has a chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely fantastic stuff there as well. Williams says Ryan Pole and we'll finish first. What a lap. Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see if he can try and capitalise on that pole position from there on to win the race. We'll have to wait and see. If you've got any questions, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe, and also on the chat if you want to join Invictus as well. We'll do that in a moment or two of the advertisements as well. But I will try and just do one more thing. I'm just going to send some spare invites for the guys here, even to Tim as well, just so that the guys can get back in case something does go wrong again. Hopefully not, but just in case we do need to do it again. But yeah, just absolutely madness stuff here. Like I said, we're just losing everything we can, but so hopefully I'll just try and send some more spare invites for the guys again before we kick off with the racing itself. So I'm going to send some more spare invites, and then we'll kick off with the racing, hopefully sooner rather than later. But from what I've been told, we will go. If you got the qualifying list, Tim. Nice one. And I'll tell you what, Tim, normally I do the qualifying list going down. I'll tell you what, because it's Christmas coming up soon, and I'll tell you what, from myself, I'll let you do the honours in a moment or two. Let me just send the spare invites to the guys, and then we'll kick off on here as well. So, Tim, what was the qualifying positions before we start? I think we believe we have the formation lap on, so we will do the usual formation lap, but we will have the qualifying list from Tim. What's going to happen from first downwards?
Sadly, I do not have the times at the moment, but we got Rymac lining up in first, followed by F1 Mr. P, Vojtech, still B66, F1 Richard, Mike, Gasto, Nitro Gash in 8th, 9th is JSP with Luke Bailey in 10th, Brennon's in 11th, 12th is Synchronously with Sir Spud in 13th, O. Steven in the 14th position, followed by BWA Clyde in 15th, Jeffrey Hinney making his debut here today in the E3 League at 16th, Tennis in 17th, Dre Gio in 18th, and Craig in the 19th position.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how the guys can capitalise on it, and also we'll talk about the standings as we speak. So after Russia, so Spud's in the lead with 35 points. F1 Richards in second with 28 points. Luke Bailey's in third with 25 points. Mike is in fourth with 23 points. Stevens in fifth with 21 points. Synchronously is in sixth with 20 points. Gasto, who won last week, he got 18 points in 7th place. Mr. P is in 8th with 16 points. Rymac is in 9th with 14 points. Craig is in 10th with 13 points. Nitrogas is in 11th with 13 points. Vojtech is in 12th with 10 points. BW Clyde is in 13th with 8 points. Brennon's is in 14th with 5 points. JSP is in 15th with 5 points. Tennis is in 16th with 5 points. Dre Gio's in 17th with 4 points. Steele is in 18th with 2 points. And the rest of the crew have all got 0 points. And wish everyone all the very best of luck in a moment or two. Hopefully we'll try and get everyone in. I'm not sure who we're missing, but hopefully we'll try and get that confirmed.
We seem to be missing Dre Gio at the moment. Not sure what's going on there. I'm actually monitoring the league chat, and we're trying to see what's happening, but for some reason, we are missing Dre Gio at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but Dre Gio is the only one that's waiting for some of the drivers here tonight. So hopefully we'll get that confirmed. So I do apologise to the guys who have just joined in thinking what's going on here. It's been a late start. We did have the qualifying up to with about 7 minutes left on the qualifying, and unfortunately we had a little bit of a disconnection issue from the lobby here. So unfortunately, the qualifying that we had would have been from where we had at the before we got kicked off. So Ryan Mack will be in pole position here. We didn't get our usual unbelievable moments here, Tim, on that one, but hopefully we'll try and get that sorted in the race here tonight. I really do hope it's going to be the best one, the same as the Performance League last night. Do you agree, Tim?
Yeah, so long as we can get this race in today, it's definitely going to be one to watch and one to remember. I was very surprised yesterday with what we saw in the Performance League race, and so I definitely expect, in fact, I will accept nothing less than the best from these drivers here today.
Do you feel under pressure? Like a Queen moment there, under pressure. Well, I think that they'll be under pressure here tonight here from Tim here to expect nothing but the best, and absolutely simply the best. And we got the American Grand Prix. We're about to kick off here. Is Dre Gio going back in? I don't think it's going to happen.
I do not know.
So
honestly, I don't see his name on the list at the moment.
So unfortunately, Dre Gio, I think the guys are going to kick off here because majority of the drivers are in. Dre Gio is the only one who's not in the list here, but he's out. He was in the qualifying, but he's not gone back in. Even if he's gone back in, he will be on the wrong car here, but hopefully not. But at the moment here, we had 19 drivers to start off with on the qualifying, and then we're going to go straight to 18 drivers here. So we're going to go straight to race, not qualifying. We're going to go straight to race with the drive. Hopefully, all the guys were set up with the custom grid, set and ready to go. And I really do hope this will be this is the last race before Christmas. So hopefully this will be a Christmas cracker at the USA Grand Prix. I hope so. I really do hope that we do see the best of it as well. But we're about to kick off in a moment or two of the race itself. Hopefully the guys will get themselves set up for the setups, and we're about to kick off in a moment or two. Just wait for it to load. So, go to the usual advertisements before we kick off here. This is the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel for live and exclusive for you guys. This is the F3 League, live and exclusive with myself and the greatest American commentator of them all, Tim, with me as always. We do have the F1 League that used to be the No Assist League on the Monday nights with Gareth and Sab as well. They're the two greatest commentators of them all as well. So they did a brilliant commentary on the F1 League on the Monday nights. Myself and Tim do the Realistic Performance League on the Tuesday nights as well. But also, we're not only live tonight, we've got F2 League running simultaneously at the same time here with Energy Dan and Warris Lander for the F2 League as well. And on the Thursday nights, we do have the podcast show with Gareth and Sab, again, the two greatest commentators of them all. They do the brilliant job there with the podcast. It's a brilliant listen. They talk about the real life F1 as well as the updates from the Invictus Racing Leagues as well. Not only we have everything on YouTube at the moment here, we have got Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for all the other social media side stuff. So please make sure you like, subscribe and follow for all the latest updates. But the most important of them all is check out InvictusRacingLeague.com for if you enjoy the racing tonight. Well, hopefully you enjoy the racing. If you do, why don't you sign up, join in, apply to race, and we will let one of the admins to get in touch with you, and we'll hopefully get you back in, just after the Christmas break as well. So we will hopefully we will have the formation up. Yes, we have the formation up. Thank you very much. So we will have, hopefully the top 10 would have been on the same tyre wear before we kicked off. But the rest of the guys from 11th onwards, we should have the tyre wear that they can pick outside of it as well. So Ryan Mack will be in first place. Mr. P is in second. Vodtek is in third. Steele is in fourth. F1 Richard is in fifth. Mike is in sixth. Gusto is in seventh. Nigel Gash is in eighth. JSP is in ninth. Luke Bailey is in 10th. Brennus is in 11th. Synchronously is in 12th. Sir Spud's in 13th. Oh, Stephen is in 14th. Peter McLeod in 15th. Jeffrey Henney, the newcomer, in 16th place. Tinnis is in 17th. And Craig in 18th place. Now, watching this so far, Tim, let's hope we get a Christmas cracker to remember in the F3 League. Do you think Ryan Mack will hold on, or do you think there will be a shock outside? I know we've already mentioned it during the break, but we want to say it again just to get the guys up and ready to go.
He is definitely going to hold on. I mean, really, he's getting better each and every week, because the biggest issue, like I've said time and time again with him, is really just the time penalties. Because, you know, let's face it, staying inside the FIA-regulated track limits each and every lap, hitting your marks perfectly, it's very difficult to do. And so it's just something that he's struggled with here. Well, not here in general, but just in the F3 League this year. But with each and every race, he's getting better, and he consistently has podium pace to the point that I just feel like he has to hold on. I mean, his race is coming sooner or later.
You are right, though. He has got the pace. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say hasn't got the pace. He has got the pace, but it's just the penalties galore that stopped him from doing so well in the races from the last few races coming in. But hopefully, will it be a Christmas cracker here to keep that position in first all the way to the end of the race? Hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later here, but the guys are all going to be all set and ready to go on the grid here. And I'll tell you what, Tim, as always, I'll let you do the grid for the final time before the Christmas break. Over to you.
Yeah, the final time for a few weeks here, and that's going to be very unfortunate, especially since the F1 season is over. This is now my season. These are my races. But hey, you know what? I say we need to go out on a good one for the decade and for the break for the season. So right now, all the drivers lining up in the grid to their allotted spots, and here momentarily we will be green heading down. Well, actually not heading down, but heading up to turn 1. As now there's the drivers on the grid watching the red lights with 5 red lights in the air, and now no red lights. The race is green, heading up to turn 1 in the Invictus Racing League's F3 League. Rymac getting a very early lead. F1 Richard dropping back just a little bit. He is in the middle of a 4-wide situation there heading into turn 1. It does pan out, but Richard and a Haas machine is making contact. Mike and Richard definitely having some contact there.
Yeah, there was some contact there in the start of the turn 1 there, but there's been some contact, there's been some debris there as well. Look at this, they're going through the S's there. Someone's just gone a little bit wide there, but Jeffrey moves up, Nigel Gash moves up to 6th place here. There's some cars going off track there. Craig's dropped down to 17, Luke Bailey's dropped down to 16th place there because Peter McLeod moves up to 15th place here. Oh my days, who's going to be? Unbelievable stuff here. Mike's trying to close in on Nigel Gash now for 6th place here. Jeffrey's moved up to 11th place. He's, dropped down to 12th now because Brenno's moved up to 11th place now. Tim, who are you watching so far?
It's more like, who am I trying to watch? Right now, I'm looking at Gasto in the Toro Rosso, but behind him, a Rideau and a Williams. It's JSP and Synchronously. They were momentarily side by side. Just behind them, there's another battle between Sir Spud and Jeffrey Henney. They were side by side. Jeffrey Henney was able to get by Sir Spud there momentarily, and he's going to keep it for now.
This should be unbelievable stuff here from Jeffrey holding on for 12th at the moment here. So Spud will not want to stay behind here as much as possible here. Jeffrey is a really good driver, and he's a newcomer as well in the Invictus Racing League as well. So he's one of those drivers to watch out for on his day. Hopefully he'll try and get some decent points here. But Ryan Mack has got the fastest lap of the race at the moment here with 137.201. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Still watching from Sir Spud's point of view as he's chasing down that Toro Rosso of Jeffrey Henney. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Henney is chasing down the McLaren of Grinons that is just ahead of him. Grinon's chasing down the Williams of JSP. And now Jeffrey Henney, he has spun and is into the wall out of turn 1, and he is out of this race. Jeffrey Henney in his F3 League debut here is now out of this race. Just throttled up a little too early out of 1, and it spun him around. Got that curb a little bit, I think, is what upset the car.
Oh, that's not the debut race that you do not want to happen there for Jeffrey. So hopefully he'll bounce back after Christmas here at this moment in time. So he's out of the race. He's out of the race here on his debut race. You don't want that to happen there as well. But at the moment here, I was just watching Steele now. I'm going to go back to Nitrogash because Nitrogash is going to try and get closer to F1 Richard here. We've got 2 in the beds there. We've got 2 in the beds. Mike and Gasto here side by side here. Mike's trying to go ahead here against Gasto here. But look at Synchronicity now. Synchronicity's trying to close in now, Tim. Are you watching this? Are you watching this?
Yes, this is an amazing battle. Synchronously in the Renault trying to get very close to the Toro Rosso of Gasto. Goes a little bit wide out of that corner, but none the worse for Whaler. Gasto looking on the inside of Mike, but will he be able to do it? Gasto has gotten by Mike. That was a just absolutely amazing pass. Now Gasto pulling away from the Haas machine, and now Mike is under pressure from the Renault of Synchronously as they round turn 17. Going down the front straightaway as Grinon's now a 5-second time penalty for exceeding the track limits. Grinon's right now running in the 11th position. Synchronously trying to maybe make a move on Mike's, but just not close enough to do it right now. Coming through turn 1 and out of turn 1. Synchronously gets through unscathed. Mike gets through unscathed. Synchronously still chasing down that black and gold Haas machine, but just cannot quite seem to close the gap enough.
Well, I think because Mike has got a bit of front wing damage there, that might be why I saw some debris at the start of the race there. That might be. I'm not saying that's true, but Mike is slowly losing the pace here from Gasto here because he has got a bit of front wing damage there. So Silly Bang will not be happy with that there. But look at JSP and look at the Ferrari. It's the spot there, trying to get past the spot. Passing Brennan's here. Unbelievable. I'm losing my words here. I'm losing the mind here. But look at this. Look at this. The Merc and the McLaren here. Some side here. 12th and 13th. Mercedes moves up to 12th. Unbelievable stuff there. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff there from Steven there. Tim.
And meanwhile, in turn 13, JSP getting very close to Synchronously out of 12. Turn 13, Synchronously put a little bit of a gap between the two. Mike, though, he is still a sitting duck, but the Renault cannot seem to get by him, so JSP is just kind of sitting there waiting in the wings as Synchronously is trying to make a move around Mike, but just cannot seem to do it. Trying to make the same move that Gasto did just a lap ago, but not able to hold on to Synchronously, even going wide there and cutting back on the track in front of JSP. I don't know what's going on here. It just looks like Synchronously cannot get the pace to get by Mike and JSP, and that is actually very surprising considering the front wing damage on that Haas.
Yeah, because Mike's a really, really good defender here. He is really a good defender. You've got to be absolutely careful there as well, because if you do get past Mike, you have got a clear run as well. But look at this. I'm watching Steven and Suspud here. Two good mates off track here. But Suspud and Steven battling out here at this moment in time. Luke Bailey's out now, so he's the second DNF of the race here. So I'm not sure what happened there with Luke Bailey. So he's out of the race here. So at the moment here, oh my days, Synchronicity and JSP. Synchronicity and JSP, they're coming to the DRS. Oh my days. Tim, please, I'm going to say, please be a 3 to bed. Please be a 3 to bed against Synchronicity and Mike and JSP. Will it be an unbelievable moment here? Oh, Mike, hold on. Nitrogas moves up to 5th place here. Synchronicity makes the move into 8th. We've got another bed there. 2 to beds on the back row there for the Ferrari and McLaren there of Craig and Brenner's there. What a move. Oh, Mike. Mike. Oh, unlucky there from Mike. Mike's trying to go around the inside there. Will he try to hold on there from JSP? Oh my days. Oh my days. Who's that? That was the Red Bull of Nitrogas. Nitrogas. I'm not sure what happened there. Tim, have you seen that?
No, but Nitrogas, he has spun again now. Nitrogas has spun, is in the middle of the racetrack. Only Tennis is behind him, though. Nitrogas definitely having an issue. Not sure what's going on. Perhaps he has a punctured tire. I really do not know.
I'm not sure what happened. He was in 5th place at one point there, so something must happen there from his point of view. But hopefully we'll find out sooner or later. But Craig's moved to 12th place now. No, Brennan's has moved to 12th place now. No, Craig. Will one of you pick up positions here? Unbelievable stuff there between the McLaren and the Ferrari there. They still go. Look at this. They're still going. Unbelievable. They won't even pick up positions there. between the two drivers here. So Craig's pushing away now after I just slided there. But Peter McLeod's made a little bit of mistake there, Tim. But Mr. P's closing in on Rymac now. Mr. P's closing in on Rymac now for first place here. This is a great battle here for the lead. Oh, Mr. P moves to the first place here, Tim.
Yeah, meanwhile, back in the mid-pack is Mike trying to pass JSP.
Oh, what? Oh, no!
And Mike has spun. I don't know what happened, but Mike has spun, and also JSP, he has spun as well. I did not see what happened. I was riding on board with Mike, but he just completely spun around at the end of turn 12. So now there is debris everywhere at the end of turn 12. JSP does not have a left side of that front wing. Mike, on the other hand, I don't even know where he is right now. He also barely has a right side. The end plate right side of that wing is definitely gone.
Yeah, so something must happen there from Mike's point of view as well. So Spud's lost a bit of his front wing as well. But I want to get back to the top four here, because look at this. We've got, oh my days, look at this. Look at this! Rymac is holding on for dear life here against Mr. P here. Oh, I love this helicopter view here. Look at the background there, Steele and Voltec. 4 cars battling out for the lead here. I did say we would love to have a classic race here. Could this be another classic race in two days here? We have the Performance League and the F3, Tim.
Well, it definitely looks as such. We have two legendary teams in Williams and Mercedes there, along with F1 Mr. P and the Haas and Vodchek and the Alfa Romeo. So we've got a 4-car battle for the lead, and they are just absolutely nose to tail down the DRS straight heading to turn 12. Here in just a moment, 3 of the 4 of them will receive the DRS, and that is F1 Mr. P, Still B, and Vodchek. All 3 have, and Rymac being the sitting duck of the mix. No DRS for him as F1 Mr. P gets by Rymac, and now the Mercedes of Steel B trying to make a move on Rymac, but he will not be able to make it stick. So Steel B's going to have to settle for 3rd, at least for the time being, but Rymac is now back on the offensive, trying to attack F1 Mr. P and get the lead back from him.
Yeah, hopefully he'll try and bounce back here as well, Rymac, because he, like I said earlier on, he has been really unlucky because of the penalties that he had earlier on, but he has got, as you can see, he has got the pace here to do well here, to get some podiums here. But it's just, as long as he doesn't get any penalties here tonight, he'll be in for a brilliant position here tonight. We've got a 4-car battle here. We're only on lap 7 of 28 of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 league here. But Mark will mention about the standings in a moment or two, because Steele is going around the outside here, because Rymac's going for the inside there, and he defends well here. So we're on lap 7:28 of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 league here. Mr. P is in first place, who's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. Rymac holding on, which I'm watching at the moment here, in 2nd place. Steele's in 3rd. Votek is in 4th. F1 Richards in 5th. Gastos in 6th. O'Stevens in 7th. Oh, Synchronicity is out. Craig is biggest mover in 9th place. Peter McLeod in 10th. Brent Owens is in 11th. Nigel Gash is in 12th after a little bit of a mistake there earlier on. JSP is in 13th. Tinnis is in 14th. Mike is in 15th. And Sir Spud in 16th place. But some of the drivers have all gone for the pits here. But look at this. Look at this, Tim. Rymac's going for the bounce into first place here. We got to... Oh, come on. Oh, you don't know what to pick here with the surface side here. I don't know.
On the inside of F1 Mr. P here through these S's. F1 Mr. P, though, getting the advantage over Rymac. Is Rymac now trying to do a crossover move, but could not get underneath F1 Mr. P. Just behind him, meanwhile, Vodchek was able to get by Steel B66. So now the Mercedes is in the 4th position with the Alfa Romeo in 3rd. Rymac now, the gap has increased a little bit more between him and F1 Mr. P. Now over half a second between the two.
Do you think the tyres have gone? Do you think the tyres have gone already with the softs, Tim?
That is very possible. Yesterday we saw drivers being able to stretch it only to lap 10 or 11, and those were the ones that you could tell conserved their tires. They weren't around a lot of battles. But look, we have 4 cars here, 4 cars in contention for first place. All 4 of these cars' tires have to be practically dead.
But with the tyre wear, as I said, the fresh softs can last about 12 to 13 laps in the softs, and the mediums can last about 17 laps exactly. That's my prediction of the telemetry here. With the one stop, you can do up to lap 11/12 for the softs, and then do the rest on the mediums, as long as you don't have any silly bang moments there with the wings have gone here. But at the moment here, the top 4 are doing a stellar job here for unbelievable stuff here. Yellow flag sectors 1 and 2 here, so I'm not sure what happened here, but look at Rymac now. Rymac's trying to close in on Mr. P here. Will he try and make the move again? Oh, who's that? Fontek. Has Fontek lost third? No, he nearly lost third. We've got, oh my days, Tim, please, unless I'm mistaken here, we might have a 6-car battle here for first place, because the McLaren F1 Richard and Gasto are closing in on the top 4 here, Tim.
That it is starting to become a reality there, not quite, as Gasto is now trying to make a move by F1 Richard, but F1 Richard is defending very well. He's going to hold on to that 5th place for the moment. They're not quite in contention for the lead at the moment, but they are definitely getting close, as now it looks like there has been pit stop started. Rymac looks to be the first one to blink going into the pits.
Oh, that I would have expected lap 11/12 here, but bear in mind though, we might have three laps of the fresh tyres here that they do. Oh, Gasto! Oh, you cheeky driver here. Unbelievable. What a move against F1 Richard on the first corner there. I'll just recap it for you, Tim. He got through the inside. No contact at all. Got through the inside and made the move. Just felt like it was just like a piece of cake. Unbelievable stuff there from Gasto in 4th place, who had a brilliant race last week in the Russian Grand Prix when he won the race as well. So he's on top form here at the moment here, Tim.
Yeah, and Gasto, he is wanting to capitalize on that move. He doesn't want it to all be for naught. He has got his sights set on a podium position. Of course, we have just less than 20 laps left in this race, so plenty of time for him to work his way up, but now is go time. I suspect that his tire wear is a little bit more in his favor than the 3 drivers ahead of him, considering the fact that he was not involved in a 4-car battle for the lead for about 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, let's wait and see what happens here at this moment in time, but hopefully they'll try and get back in as well. Nigel Gash is the 3rd driver out of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League, for the US of A Grand Prix. So I'm not sure what happened there with Nigel Gash, who had a great start. So something must happen there from when he was at 5th place here. But Mr. P and Steele have blinked now. Vodtek is still going. He's still going with those tyre wear. So he's going to do another lap here at least. But the gaps are a little bit gone here now. So, like I said, Ryan Mack is in 9th. I'm going to go straight to Rymac because he's coming up to the final corner now. Depending on where the guys are coming out here on the pits, they'll need to come out here now. They'll need to come out now. Unfortunately, Rymac will be ahead of the 2 drivers here of F1 Mr. P and Steele here, but Peter McLeod on the 9 laps of the hard tyres as well. So this will be very interesting stuff here. So Peter McLeod trying to close in on F1 Mr. P, whose tyre wear is not hitting in at the moment here, Tim. Is there anyone that you're watching so far?
Well, I was actually watching Rymac along with you, and I'm just sitting here watching his line, and with about 19 laps to go in this race, the best thing he can do at the moment is just try to conserve his tires, not try to, to hunt down any drivers just yet, and try to conserve that tire wear for the end when he really needs it, because he has to make them last. He's getting close to Secrecy, who has 9 laps on those soft tires, and so I do not doubt that Secrecy has a absolute dump truck of a car where Rymac is probably gliding through, and now using the DRS, he gets by Secrecy with relative ease. Move Rymac into the 6th position right now.
So that's a good move there from Rymac. He needs to do that. If he wants to win, if he wants to get a good podium here without any penalties, he'll need to try and make the moves here done as quickly as possible here. We're on lap 10. I can't believe we're not even hitting the halfway mark here. It feels ages on there, but we're not even hit the halfway mark here. But we're on lap 10 or 28 on the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League, at the glorious race of the US of A Grand Prix here. Yeehaw! Unbelievable stuff here. Oh, Steven moves up to 3rd place here. Craig's moving up to 4th because F1 Richard and Synchronicity are both going to the pits now. They're both going to the pits. I'm going to go to Spud here to try and close in on Mike here, Tim. With the drivers as well, Gasto's done a brilliant job here at the moment here. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. And really, I think at this point, it's a matter of when are these drivers going to pit, and who will pit first? Does Vodchek have the tires to last maybe another lap or two? Does Gasto have the tires to last maybe another lap or two? Or will they both have to pit at about the same time? Because really, what I would love to see is for Gasto to be a part of that 4-car battle that we saw and make it a 5-car battle. And I think that if the battle is going to come back around, it's very possible to do that. It's just a matter of, he's 4.6 seconds behind Vodchek right now, so that is a huge gap, but it does look like he's eating away a little bit as they go down the DRS straight. Of course, he's not close enough at all to take advantage of the DRS. As now Tennis, on the medium tires of all tires, has the fastest lap lane, 137.1.
He's done a brilliant job there, Tennis, but unfortunately he won't get the fastest lap point because he's outside of the top 10. You only get the fastest lap point if you're in the top 10. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1, so something must happen there. We've got about 2 battles going on here. We've got Steele and BW Clyde here for 7th and 8th. BW Clyde holding on with those hard tyres there in 7th place here. Vodtek has pitted. Will Gasto follow? Will Gasto follow? Oh, thanks, Tim. Sorry, I'll just apologise on that one. But, Tim, with the driver's seat, I know we said Gasto's done a brilliant job here as well, but is there any drivers out there you think that could have done well so far after 12 laps?
Well, you know, you're going to think that I keep coming back to him, and I guess in a way I do, but I'm looking at Rimac right now, and he's already moved to the 3rd, but meanwhile, F1 Mr. P, he is now in 4th, so Rimac was able to get ahead of them, you know, as we saw a few laps ago, and now he's really holding it down, but only by a little bit. F1 Mr. P is within DRS range here, so these drivers are doing very well, and BWA Clyde running in the 5th position, he's actually on the hard tires, so I'm wondering how this strategy is going to work. Because he's currently running 5th, but when he does pit, he'll probably drop back to 8th or 9th even. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, but, you know, where we had the issues in qualifying, the drivers had to start on the tires that they qualified with. And BWA Clyde, I was actually watching him while we had the issues, and he was on hard tires. And I assumed he was just out there using it as a practice lap, and he meant to eventually pit and put mediums or softs on, but he never got the chance. So now BWA Clyde is forced into making these hard tires work, and so far he's doing well, as Still B actually just rockets by him at the end of turn 12. But I just feel like he's at a bit of a disadvantage, but considering that disadvantage, I think he's done really well.
Yeah, BW Clyde's done a brilliant job here with 11 laps of the hard tyres here. But look at this, it still goes side by side here with Steele. I thought BW Clyde just done it there. I thought he might just get past Steele here for 5th place. But BW Clyde, I don't know when he'll pit, because he could go softs at the end and go and gamble on the fastest lap, but it just depends on how much of the hard tyres he can last here. But he will have the DRS straight here. Still watching BW Clyde try and close here, because Vodtek is only just behind BW Clyde for 6th place here. Will he try and hold on here, BW Clyde, or will Vodtek will make the move here? The 2 Alfa Romeos, will there be team orders here? Will they go toe-to-toe with 6th place here? We'll have to wait and see. Would you agree on team orders, or do you agree with just battling out on track here, Tim?
Personally, I would rather there not be any team orders, but if Vodchek is that much faster than BWA Clyde, there's no reason to hold him up, so do not order. So if I'm team boss, I would not order any driver to pull away. But for whatever you do, race each other very clean, and if it is such a significant gap and Vodchek, say Vodchek is actually able to kind of get underneath him, just let him by.
Absolutely. We have to wait and see what happens here at this moment in time. We've got Rymax put it under a lot of pressure here from F1 Mr. P here. We've only 4 tenths here, but still watch this battle here with the 3 car between Steele, BW Clyde and Vodtek here. Rymax dropped down to 4th now. Rymax dropped down to 4th. Mr. P moves up to 3rd place here. So I'm not sure what's happened there. It looks like it's coming through the right hander here. So Steele, BW Clyde and Vodtek could crop up here to F1 Mr. P and Rymac, who've just come into the final corner now as well. But we are at the halfway point now of the race here tonight. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel for all the live races here as well. it's been absolutely unbelievable stuff here tonight. It's been absolutely unbelievable. Whatever happens here tonight, I'm going to go back to Rymac and F1 Mr. P here, because Rymac needs to get back up ahead here, because I know Mr. P's got a 3-second time penalty. So Spud and Mike did have 3-second time penalties earlier on, which we forgot to mention, and Gasto's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. So the penalties will kick in, Tim, but do you think the track is penalty galore, or is it too much, would you say?
No, it's definitely not penalty galore, at least not compared to Sochi. I mean, you know, we've seen a few time penalties here and there, but you see them everywhere we go. As now, actually, Rymac is making a move on F1 Mr. P for third, and they are now side by side, wheel to wheel, outside of turn 12. Rymac versus F1 Mr. P, Williams versus Haas. Rymac trying to do a crossover here, but not able to make it stick. F1 Mr. P gets by Rymac and will hold the position in third. But F1 Mr. P goes wide, and that's going to allow Rymac to get back underneath him. Rymac now is in front of F1 Mr. P, and he is right there. F1 Mr. P is right on the bumper of Rymac. For a minute, he was on his inside, right at the corner, but not anymore. Rymac now, this time, he's the one going wide. That's going to allow F1 Mr. P to get underneath him going through turn 17. Rymac versus F1 Mr. P. F1 Mr. P now in third. Rymac in fourth. Now going down the front straightaway. Which one will have the DRS? Rymac going by on the outside, heading up to turn 1. But who will come out on top at the end of turn 1? F1 Mr. P right now scored his third with Rymac in fourth. Rymac trying to go on the inside though. F1 Mr. P on the inside. Rymac on the outside now. Going through the S's. The Maggots and Beckett's copycat here. And F1 Mr. P is going to get the position, at least for the time being, as Rymac, it seemed like there might have been a little bit of contact there, so I think Rymac just backed off.
Yeah, what a battle there between Mr. P and Rymac. That is a great battle there. They nearly go side by side with just half a lap there. Unbelievable stuff there. But that was just brilliant racing there between F1 Mr. P and Rymac there. But also, don't forget, Tim, you got the top two. Look at the top two here. Craig's trying to close in on O'Steven now for first place here. Will O'Steven trying to hold on here with the medium tyres here? They've got to think about the tyre wear at the moment here. But Rymac's causing it. Oh my days, Mr. P. Mr. P had a bit of an issue with his car there, but he's back up there in third place here. But will Rymac try and bounce back here into third place here? This has been an absolutely unbelievable race here, Tim.
Unbelievable indeed, and it's not even over. It's barely halfway over at this point. Rymac's still in fourth, though, following F1 Mr. P. It just seems like there's parts of the track that he's quicker than F1 Mr. P, and then there's parts of the track where F1 Mr. P is quicker than him. Both of them going just a little bit wide out of turn 16, approaching turn 17 now to go down the long straightaway, the front straightaway, to head to that uphill turn 1. And F1 Mr. P has a healthy gap between them now, as Craig has went into the pits, but O'Steven is still in the lead. So now they move into second and third, F1 Mr. P and Rymac do respectively. And through turn 1, Rymac has closed the gap a little bit, likely with the help of DRS. And Rymac now half a second behind F1 Mr. P, but not able to do much with it, at least not at the moment. They're going through the S's yet again, the Maggots and Beckett's copycat, as we've been saying. And F1 Mr. P put a huge gap between the two. It just did not look like Rymac got a good line through those corners.
No, hopefully Rymac will try and hold on here as well. But we're going to go check the grid here as well. We've got a couple of outs going here. Craig is just coming out here against Synchronicity for 9th and 10th. Gasto's trying to close in on Beanie Red Clyde now for 6th place here. Beanie Red Clyde's done a brilliant job here with 15 laps of the hard tyres tonight here. And he's done a brilliant job here as well. Yellow flag setters 1 and 2 at the moment here. 1 and 2. So something must happen there from that point of view. Hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later here. But I'm not sure where it's come from here. But look at this. Gasto trying to close in on Peter McClellan for 6th place. And he makes the move done and dusted there for 6th place. Brilliant stuff there. But Vodtech might have a chance here to try to close in on Steele now for 4th. For 4th place here, but a lovely helicopter view that I've got here. But hopefully they go around the Roy Hander here, Tim. Is there anyone that you're watching so far?
Still watching F1 Mr. P and Rymac, but I'm going to go I'm going to go down the board now because it looks like Vodchtek is actually closing in on Steel B, as you were mentioning, Malc. And looking down the board still, I don't see a lot of other battles except for maybe BWA Clyde getting close to Gasto there. Gasto in the Toro Rosso, BWA Clyde in the Alfa Romeo. Gasto was showing a lot of speed there earlier on in the race. He's now, due to pit stops, dropped down to the 6th position, but we'll see where he winds up here in about 12 laps time.
We'll just have to wait and see what he can do. Like I said, as you already said, we've got 12 laps remaining at the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. Who will try and win the US of A Grand Prix for the last race before the Christmas break here? At this frantic race here, will we see any shocks along the way here? BWA Clyde's drifting away from Gasto here, so Gasto's trying to push away as much as possible here. So I'm going to go back to Steel and Vodchtek now for 4th and 5th place here. But look at this now, Craig. Sorry, Tim. I keep saying Craig. Tim, look at this from Craig's point of view, but look at this from Vodtek's point of view. I'm losing the plot here, Tim. Unbelievable stuff. I do apologise. I do apologise, mate. Oh, Vodchtek! You cheeky monkey! Unbelievable! What a move there from Vodchtek! What a move there from Vodchtek against Steel! Unbelievable stuff there. Did you see that, Tim?
No, I did not, but now Steel B, I know he certainly did, and he's trying to chase down Vodchtek in that Alfa Romeo, but it is just not working at the moment, as Vodchtek is pulling away almost over half a second gap now between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. Tinnis has got a 3-second time penalty, and the most did not want that to happen here, but Ryan Mack's got a 3-second time penalty now, so his hope is try and get Mr. P to get another 3-second time penalty here. A chance here to try and catch up, but it looks like the gap is getting to 2 seconds now. Craig's got the fastest up the race now, 136.313 on the fastest soft tyres now. But O'Stevens should be trying to close in on Craig now, because he should have the better tyre wear with 11 laps remaining here. What a race so far, Tim.
It has been absolutely amazing. We still have about 11 laps or so left to go. F1 Mr. P now in the lead since O'Steven was able to pit that time. He finally had enough on those medium tires. And Rymack, as you said, who recently got a 3-second time penalty, and now JSP picking up a 3-second time penalty. But Rymack has shrunk the gap to 1.7 seconds between him and F1 Mr. P. So Rymack may not be out of this race just yet, but again, it may come down to time penalties as far as who wins this race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the track here, I know we said that it's not penalty galore as well, but with this, do you think is there anyone that you think would Mr. P would Mr. P win his race here, or do you think Rymack would do it, or do you think Vodchtek out of nowhere with the fresher tyre wear between the top two would do it, Tim?
Well, I think Vodchtek is really sitting pretty there, because you said it was the key word, fresher tire wear, and really it's only 2 laps difference between him and F1 Mr. P and 3 laps between him and Rymack. But consider that on top of Vodchtek not being involved in a whole lot of battles. He did have a battle there with Steel B, but otherwise he's mainly been on his own since the last round of pit stops. I would not be surprised if Vodchtek was able to capitalize on that and pull through to win this race, especially since F1 Mr. P and Rymack both have 3-second time penalties, but I'm not sure about the time penalties, if any, given to Vodchtek.
We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But Mr. P's got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But F1 Richard and Craig are having a ding-dong battle here for 6th and 7th place here. Because Craig, I thought he lost a bit of his front wing there, but he hasn't, because he went to the back of F1 Richard from that point of view. And luckily, he hasn't lost a bit of his front wing damage there. So Craig trying to do everything possible here to try and move up to 6th place here, but he would get the move here done if he can try and get it done sweet as pie here. F1 Richard in the defensive line here. Oh my days, side by side here. Oh, Craig will make the move. Oh, you beauty! What a move! What a move there from Craig there to 6th place here. Need that move done, because O'Stevens trying to close in on Craig here for, at the time, 7th place, but now Craig's in 6th place. F1 Richard drops down to 7th place here. 3-car battle at the moment here. Rymack will be the new Well, it will be the winner of the US of A Grand Prix, if it stands like this, because Mr. P's got 2 lots worth of penalties. Ryan Mack has only got 1 lot of penalties, so you've got to be careful there as well.
Vodchek as well has 1 lot of penalties, only 3 seconds for him. So you are correct in that Ryan Mack would be the winner if the race were to end at this very moment, but with just 9 laps to go, Ryback might pick up another time penalty, and then that would definitely put a spanner into things.
It will be the damper of all works here as well, but hopefully not in that situation, because he has been done really well. He's just been really unlucky with the penalties galore here, but we did try and make sure he does not hit those penalties galore as much as possible here. But O'Stephen wants to try and close in on F1 Richard, as this is the only battle we have seen, as well as Gaston Steele in 4th and 5th place. A yellow flag set to 3. Yellow flag set to 3, so something must happen there. But hopefully we'll find out sooner rather than later there. But O'Stephen, F1 Richard, it's already gone defensive here. O'Stephen is still on the racing line here. Will F1 Richard get back into the line here? Tiers is retired. Tiers is retired from the session here, Tim. So he's the 4th driver of the DNF tonight here. But O'Stephen's trying to close in here. Are you watching this battle so far, Tim?
Yeah, F1 Richard and O'Stephen both giving it a really, really tight battle. O'Stephen actually gaining a little bit there on F1 Richard, almost making contact, but none of them making contact that I could see. F1 Richard now being able to pull away. He just seems to have a lot of speed on these straightaways and these like long sweeping corners, but he went wide, and that's going to allow O'Stephen to get underneath him going through turn 17. There's a little bit of contact between the two, but O'Stephen now moving into 7th with F1 Richard in 8th, lap 21 of 28.
Absolutely brilliant stuff there from O'Stephen. Craig's the biggest mover of the race here with 12 places from the back of the grid there. Peter McLeod, he's got one fastest up the race here. Steele has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings now. So Peter McLeod in the fastest lap point. Not yet anyway, but he's outside the top 10, so he won't get that point as well. Everyone else has all had the 1 stop here. So Mike is in the pits now, so he's going to try and go get the fastest lap at the soft tyres as well. But biggest mover, Craig, with 12 positions here, so he'll be the one to watch as well. Gaston's trying to close it on Steele now, Tim, for 4th place here. Are you surprised with Steele holding on for 11 laps of the hard tyres in 4th place?
My mind is absolutely blown, if I'm going to be honest with you, because the hard tires, they really just didn't seem like they had that much speed at all, but Steele has found something with them, and they are just definitely working for him. Now, of course, he does have that time penalty that he just received, so that would put Gasto ahead of him at the moment, so long as Gasto doesn't have more in time penalties. Gasto, though, it looks like he might be getting by him without the time penalty, because he's just slowly eating away at that gap, and he's within DRS range now, and he has been for almost a full lap at this point while I've been watching him. And he has the DRS now as they go down the front straightaway. He's trying to use the slipstream to get close to him. He's not going to be able to make a move into 1 this time, but he shrunk the gap to less than half a second, give or take. Coming out of turn 2 now, it's sort of holding steady, just a little bit above half a second now. So Steele is still showing, no pun intended, a lot of speed.
I like how you done there, Tim. I like it a lot here, as the famous Jim Carrey would say. I like it a lot on that. So well done on that one. You stealed it from Steele. No pun intended on that one. So Gasto trying to close in on Steele now for 4th place at this moment in time here. Good evening to Hercules. How you doing, mate? You alright? He's just joining the chat. Gasto try to get past Steele here for 4th place here. Makes the move. Done. No, they're still side by side here. Tim, they're still going side by side here. Oh, a little bit of contact there, Tim. There was a bit of contact there between Gasto and Steele. Not much, but just a little bit of contact there between the 2 drivers here tonight.
Yeah, it forced Steele to go a little bit wide, so that allowed Gasto to get in front of him. Meanwhile, just that last corner, Gasto was the one that went a little bit wide, but Steele B still not able to get close to him, and I would imagine that the hard tires are starting to lose some of their life. Of course, they can last much longer, so it's definitely not an issue of lasting to the end of the race. It's just an issue of performing until the end of the race for those tires. But nonetheless, 5th place right now for Steele B. That's looking really good.
That's a brilliant drive from Steele. But he's got to be careful here because Craig is six laps remaining here with 3 seconds gap here. It's 2.4 seconds gap pressure like between the hards and the softs with the delta here. But it depends if Craig can try and bounce back here as well. I would watch out for Vodtek here because he's 8 tenths behind Rymac. I'm not sure if Vodtek had many penalties between Rymac and Vodtek, but hopefully we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But Steele's going to try, and Steele 4th place here for Gasto, but Mike's got the fastest up the race now. But he did had another penalty here as well with a 134.9 as well. That's a great lap there from Mike there. Unfortunately he's in 14th place, so that will be outside of the top 10. Tim.
Yeah, and you were speaking about time penalties between Rymac and Vodtek. Vodtek has 3 seconds of time penalties so far as I know, as well as Rymac. So both of them are, as far as time penalties go, on the same level where F1 Mr. P has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. So if the race were to end right now, F1 Mr. P may or may not finish on the podium. It's actually very close right now between him and Gasto, because Gasto is now 5 seconds behind Vodtek, and he is currently have a miracle of still be 66, so that might actually be helping F1 Mr. P to stay in a podium position, because with 6 seconds he will drop significantly.
Yeah, but I'll look to the leaderboard here, and it is if it stands like this, he will still be in the podium here tonight. Wherever there. So Hercules, he says he makes the move done, and that's what he says. William is saying, let's go, Rymac. Let's go, because Vodtek, we're going to have to go back to Vodtek here, because Vodtek is closing in, charging up Rymac here for 2nd place here. Look at this team, top 3. Rymac holding on here for dear life here. His tyre wear has gone a little bit, because Vodtek has got 3 laps fresher than Rymac's tyre wear as well. It depends if Rymac's saving the tyre wear as well, but Vodtek will be on the DRS straight now. But Rymac will lose 2nd place here on the DRS straight, because Vodtek will be speeding past here on the DRS straight now. So Vodtek will move up to 2nd place here. So Vodtek will move up to 2nd place. As you said there, Tim, at the moment here, both drivers have got the same penalty points here. Unless Vodtek has got another 3 second penalty here, Rymac will be outside the will be at the last podium here tonight. I do apologise. Tim.
Yeah, and F1 Mr. P, he can do nothing but look behind him. I'm almost positive that he knows that he has 6 seconds worth of time penalties, and I'm almost positive that he knows that Vodtek is there and closing in. What he doesn't know is how many time penalties Vodtek and Rymac has. Unfortunately for him, it does not look like F1 Mr. P is going to be able to win this race, but crazier things have happened, and if something were to happen to Vodtek and Rymac, then that would put F1 Mr. P in a really good position. Otherwise, as it stands, Vodtek is technically your leader, but as of right now, F1 Mr. P is still scored in first, followed by Vodtek and Rymac with the podium finishers, and Gasto just outside waiting in the rings. But just as we say that, Vodtek, another 3 second time penalty. So now that's 6 seconds for Vodtek, 6 seconds for F1 Mr. P, and 3 for Rymac.
So this means Rymac could be back into the lead here. This is unbelievable stuff here with 4 laps remaining. 4 laps remaining here. Unbelievable stuff here. Mr. P will need to speed up here, because Gasto's only 6.9 seconds of the gap here between himself and Gasto for 4th place here. Well, 7 seconds now. But this is absolutely unbelievable stuff here. Will Rymac get his first win of the season? Or would anything could happen here? Stephen could have a chance against Craig here for 7th place here. For 6th place, sorry. Stephen moves up to 6. Stephen moves up to 6th place here. So what a move there from Stephen there, Tim. With this, who do you pick? Who do you pick, Tim, for the winner?
I really don't know, but I think that Rymac understands that Vodtek might have time penalties, I do not know, because he seems to really be taking it quite gingerly. So either his tires are gone, or he's just trying to be very, very gentle, not to pick up more time penalties, because he knows he's in the catbird seat. He is in the advantage. He is in the seat to take advantage of this. But now Vodchek getting very close to F1 Mr. P. It doesn't matter with time penalties between these two, because they're going to race regardless. F1 Mr. P in first, Vodchek in second, but will that change once they get to the DRS straight, heading to turn 12 as they go through the S's right now? And under the flag better, inwards better. F1 Mr. P about 0.3 seconds ahead. 0.3 of a second separating these two drivers. 6 seconds of time penalties they have both acquired throughout the course of this race, with 3 laps to go.
Oh my days. If these two have a ding-dong battle, Rymac could have a chance here to try and close in the gap here, because he does not want to make a massive gap here as well. But whatever happens here, Rymac will still win the race here tonight. But at the moment, F1 Mr. P and Vodtek will try and make the move. He makes the move. What a move! Oh, they still goes side by side here. Oh, you beauty! What a move! What a move there from Vodtek there. So Vodtek will be the lead here, but Mr. P wants to bounce back into first place here. F1 Richard and Synchronized have a ding-dong battle here for 8th and 9th. So this means now Vodtek is pushing now. He's going to have to push now as much as possible here. I'm going to have to go and put the leader point here, because 2.3 seconds is the gap between Vodtek and Rymac here. Tim!
Yeah, and I am watching that, and I am watching with bated breath. If I could sweat right now, I would be sweating, because this is just so intense. Right now, we still don't know who's going to win, because the time penalties that come into play here. Rymac with 3 seconds, Vodchek with 6 seconds, F1 Mr. P with 6 seconds, but Rymac is 2.8 seconds behind Vodchek. So Rymac, if he wants to win, he's going to have to push and push hard right now, because it is just 2 laps to go, and the time is winding down, the laps are winding down, and Rymac wanting to get his first podium, wanting to get his first win here.
Yeah, absolutely, but the gap, I'm going to go back to some of the battles here going on, because Craig, I know Stephen having another ding-dong battle here for 6th and 7th place here. We're on the penultimate lap here, guys. We're on the penultimate lap. If you like what you've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here tonight. We have started a little bit later because we had some issues with the qualifying when all of us got disconnected here. So this now, oh my days, look at Craig. Craig's already got defensive here. Oh, Stevens trying to go on the inside of the racing line. Oh, Craig's hold on. Craig's hold on there for 6th place here. Suspense gone 3 second time bounty for multiple warnings now. Oh my days. This is unbelievable stuff here. Oh, Stephen thought he might have the opportunity here to try and pass Craig here for 6th place here, but it's still going. Look at this, we're going around the right hand here. Oh, unbelievable stuff here. We're not even far away from we are at the final lap. The final lap of the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League, Tim. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
I am watching Rymac and watching the 2 cars ahead of him, and I'm looking at the time board right now, and with Rymac being 3.8, almost 4 seconds behind Vodchek, I do believe, and correct me if I've done my math horribly wrong, that if the race ends as they run right now, Vodchek will win, with F1 Mr. P coming in 2nd and Rymac in 3rd.
Ooh, I thought Vodtek had 2 lots of penalties, so that would have been 6 seconds, same with Mr. P, which would mean, unless Rymac had another penalty, which I did not see on screen as I was watching the battle there between Craig and Stephen there, but Rymac, 4.1 second gap now. His tyres are gone. His tyres are gone here on the final lap here. Who will try and hold on here? Will Vodtek win the race here, or will Mr. P? Out of nowhere, he has got 6 seconds worth of penalties there, same with Vodtek. Rymac, unless he has another penalty, he'll be out of this. Mike has retired. Mike has retired from the session now. So I'm going to go back to Vodtek here, because he's coming up to the final few corners here as well. because he's done a brilliant job here, Vodtek. Out of nowhere, we did not expect this. He will cross over the line first in the race here, but we'll have to wait and see it with the penalties galore. Depending on Vodtek does win the race, but at the moment here, Vodtek does cross over the line now. He does cross over the line. Mr. P will finish in second, but where does that put Rymac? Oh, Rymac's missed out! Rymac missed out on the winner by first place here by 1.6. So Vodtek is the winner. Congratulations to Vodtek, who's just won the US of A Grand Prix here. Brilliant stuff there. Mr. P does hold on for the podium here. So he finishes in third. Gasto in fourth. O'Stephen in fifth. Craig sixth. For me, my driver of the day here. But Tim will pick his own as well, and we'll decide which one to pick for the driver of the day here. Synchronously in 7th, F1 Richards in 8th, JSP is in 9th, Steele is in 10th, Peter McCard in 11th, Brennons is in 12th, and Suspud is just coming up to the final few corners now, would finish in 13th place. I tell you what, that is one hell of a race there tonight. Absolutely brilliant race as well. That was a it was a really brilliant race here, Tim. Absolutely brilliant stuff here. Williams says no, yes. That was the battles there, and Rymac fan club says Rymac is my hero. Fair dues. So we've got Rymac, who's finally getting to the podium here without penalties galore there. I thought he would have won the race here, but I thought Vodtek had 6 seconds with the penalties, but unless Rymac just missed out there, but
well, he did, but Rymac only had 3 seconds, so that 6 seconds turned into a 3-second gap.
Fair enough there. But he did well there. He did really well there. So here are your race classification for the United States Grand Prix for the Invictus Racing League, the F3 League. You've got Vodtek in first. Rymac is in second. Mr. P is in third. Gasto is in fourth. O'Stephen didn't have a penalty in fifth. Craig in sixth. Synchronously 7th. F1 Richards in 8th. JSP 9th. Steele 10th. Peter McCall 11th. Brennan's 12th. Suspud 13th. Mike, Tennis, Nitrogash, Luke Bailey and Jeffrey are the only ones who've had the DNFs earlier on in the races tonight. Well, Mike just DNF'd at the last lap there, but I'm just saying during that race there. And all the penalties, just in case if the stewards need to have a look at the penalties galore there. But yeah, well done to Vodtek, Rymac and Mr. P. So we're going to invite them in as well into the interview here. So bear with us a sec, guys. We will get them in shortly. So unless Vodtek has got a mic, it looks like he's just got it. It didn't look like. Oh no, he hasn't got the mic with him. But we'll get that confirmed if Vodtek does want to join in. But I'd like to hear his thoughts of the race here tonight. Rymac, who's been pestering to try and get into the podium here. He has finally get into the podium here tonight. So just going to get him in. And also Mr. P on his thoughts. The man with the plan here. He thought he had done it there, but he missed out on the win here because of Vodtek as well. So we're just going to get the guys in at this moment in time. So we have invited the guys of Rymac and Mr. P and Vodtek as well. Williams says, well done Ryan, shame not getting first, definitely driver of the day as well. That's what Williams says on his point of view. Oh, okay, no worries. We've just got confirmation from Vodtek as well, so he won't be able to join us. I think he's not feeling too good. Yeah, hopefully he'll join us, but if not, Vodtek has joined us, but I think he can't speak, so hopefully he'll talk to us through there. But we'll talk to Vodtek quickly. We'll talk to Vodtek and then Rymac and then F1 Mr. P. But before we carry on, guys, can you please make sure your loud voice to be shared is set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and then there's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are all set and ready to go, I'll be talking to Vodtek. Probably just short questions here because he's not feeling too good, so I'll try and do it as quick as possible. And then we're going to talk to Rymac on his thoughts of second place. and also Mr. P on his podium here as well. So just bear with us a sec, guys. Are you all set and ready to go, guys?
Yeah.
Was that you, Rymac? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Nice one. So, okay, so Rymac and Mr. P are there. Vodtech, sorry. Vodtech, if you're there, I'll mention the questions to you now. So, Vodtech, if you can hear me, what is your thoughts of the race tonight? In your own words. So, we'll get that ready to go. If you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the channel for all the live races here as well. So we'll just try and get that heard from Vortex's point of view. But if not, we might have to skip that. But I'd like to hear his thoughts of the race here tonight. So bear with us a sec, Rymac and Mr. P. So we'll just try and get we'll get Vortex's point of view. Hopefully we'll try and get that confirmed. But if not, we might have to carry on. So hopefully Vodtech would say what his thoughts of the race tonight. Vodtech says it was a really tough one, but awesome pace with guys in top 3. So that was a brilliant job from yourself, Vodtech. You did a brilliant job to win your I think that's your first ever win. I think. Let me just clarify that. Vodtech, where are you? Yeah, you had your first podium in race 2 or round 2, but then you've won your first one. But yeah, he says thank you very much. It is the very first. Yes, it is. So congratulations to Vodtech who won the Grand Prix. I'm sorry it's going to be short questions because you haven't got the mic here, but for yourself, Vodtech, with the next race after Christmas will be Azerbaijan. So what are your thoughts of Azerbaijan, and what are your expectations at Azerbaijan track after the Christmas break? So I know it's short for Vodtech to answer these questions, but hopefully we'll try and get that quick for Rymac and Mr. P throughout the voices as well. So with the race itself, Tim, was there any good battles here that you saw while we were waiting for Vodtech's answer?
There were a lot of good battles, and the 4-car battle that we saw earlier on, which Vodtech was a part of, that was only one of them. And there, even toward the end, even though it really wasn't much of a battle for position, after, once it got to around 2, 1.5 laps to go, somewhere around there, it really wasn't much of a battle for physical position. But knowing the time penalties, it was still very intense just watching it, and just knowing that, we truly don't know what's going to happen, even though that there was a gap between all 3 cars. So there were plenty of battles, and, much like the performance race last night, this one did not cease. It did not fail to impress.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff as well. Vodtech, who's just answered the question about Azerbaijan and what his expectations for the next race after Christmas break. He did say difficult track for me, especially not hope for some points. He will hope for some points, but it's going to be pretty hard. Not his favourite track. Vodtech, like I said, I wish you all the very best of luck. So you got 2 podiums. One of them is a win tonight. Congratulations on your win tonight, and I wish you all the very best of luck throughout the remainder of the season. I'm sorry it's very short for you. For the questions, but hopefully when you do get the mic, we'll talk more when you do get in the podium stuff here tonight. Thank you very much as well, Vodtech. I hope you have a very good Christmas and a happy New Year as well. Thank you, Vodtech. Brilliant drive from you tonight. Brilliant stuff. And he's just commented, said thank you very much. Enjoy Christmas, guys. You too, guys. Thank you very much, Vodtech, as well. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off, but Vodtech, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Very much. Thank you very much. Rymac, how you doing, mate? You alright?
Not bad, Malc, Tim. You?
Not too bad, not too bad. You've been eager to get to the podium here, haven't you, for the last few weeks?
Oh, I've been trying.
You've been trying.
Hard.
Oh, you've been trying absolutely unbelievable stuff as well. But tell us about your thoughts of the race tonight.
really good start. I peeled away from the pack pretty much after the first sector. I was just trying to break that DRS chain as well, but Mr. P was too quick, caught up pretty soon after that, before the pit stops. And then yeah, just both him and Wojtek's pace was just obviously a lot better than mine towards the end. Focusing mainly on the penalties, probably sacrificed a bit of the pace to avoid the corner cutting in previous races, so managed to somehow only end up with 3 seconds of time penalties and jumped over the top of Mr. P even though he finished in front of me, so pretty happy.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. And as you rightly said, as you mentioned about the penalties, you was really unlucky in the last few races to do with penalties, and good lord. But with the driving tonight, did you feel like you could have done a little bit better with the strategy, or do you think that was the best that you could have done tonight?
No, I mean, I was staying pretty close to Mr. P once he passed me on the first stint, but it was really the DRS that was helping me with that, so I went for the undercut. Probably could have went a little bit longer on the sauce, but the undercut got me quite a good bit in front of Mr. P again, but yeah, he just caught back up with a good bit more pace than myself. Got the elbows out a wee bit as well. Maybe should have defended a little bit harder too, but yeah, a couple of wee mistakes just meant that I snuck out his DRS and just couldn't catch back up. So yeah, overall very happy. First podium, so can't complain.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. I mean, would you say that yours and Mr. P's battle was the best one that you've had tonight, would you say?
Between that and last week, with was it Synchronicity in the Renault?
Yes.
That was lap by lap last week. I think it was 5 or 6 laps where we were playing leapfrog, so I was kind of hoping that once Mr. P caught up to me tonight that we could have just had a wee game of leapfrog, but it wasn't for letting me back past for us to get away for the rest of the pack. But yeah, I've no idea where Wojtek came from. Once Mr. P went in front, I knew he had another 3 seconds of time penalties than me. So yeah, I just tried to stay within that sort of region, but yeah, Wojtek just came from nowhere and blew past the two of us, so not really much I can do about that.
Fair dues, mate, fair dues. You've been eager to get the podium, and you deserve to get a podium after the penalties galore as well. But you did a brilliant job here. You've got some fans watching on the stream here, supporting you on there, and they're absolutely delighted for you to get the podium here tonight as well. With that battle there, I thought you nearly got the win as well with the 6 seconds with the penalties, but it just did not happen with the gap as well. But hopefully that second would turn into first in the next few races coming up soon after Christmas as well. But hopefully the tides will turn. You just never know. Hope so. Fingers crossed. And hopefully we'll be seeing the Rimac in the first place. So the last 2 questions from you, mate, before I stop you there. We got Azerbaijan. So what are your thoughts of the track, and what are your expectations on that track?
Track I quite enjoy actually. It's probably my favourite street circuit. Street circuits are good because you can't cut corners much, so it avoids the penalties. But no, it's quite a therapeutic track for me as well, so looking forward to it. I've got good pace here. Fair dues. I really do hope that your form will start to kick in now, because it is starting to kick in anyway. But I'm just saying, hopefully get more podiums, not penalties, sorry, podiums. Yeah. But you know what I mean, don't you? Because my voice is gone. Of
course. But congratulations on getting second place. You just missed out on first, but really unlucky at that one. Well done for tonight. You did get the podium as well. But can I just say a massive I hope you have a very good Christmas and a happy New Year. We'll see you back after the break here. So thank you very much, Rimac. First time in the podium. Thank you very much, mate. Absolutely. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off, but thank you very much for joining tonight, Rimac. Brilliant stuff.
Stick around. Cheers.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. Mr. P, the man with the plan. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Hello, mate.
How you doing? Tell us about your thoughts of the race.
Yeah, good one. Entertaining. Good battles. Made a stupid mistake of not loading my setup, so that wasn't a clever move. But no, the race was really good. Really good race.
Oh, okay. So you've had a default setup at the start. Would you say?
That was default setup. Yeah, totally forgot to load it. Totally forgot.
Oh, bloody
I was in a
hell.
party with Luke Bailey, and he said to me that he forgot to load his, and I said, "Yeah, I've done the same." So yeah, default setup that was.
Can you imagine if you didn't have the default setup? Would you have gone past
I was
Rymac?
just thinking that. I was just thinking that. Just
Oh.
thinking that. But it's the way it goes. It's the way it
Yeah.
goes. It happens.
The old saying, that's the way the cookie crumbles, as always
Exactly.
say. But would you say, what was been your best battle tonight, would you say?
To be honest, obviously myself and Rymac had a few laps of battling. Like you said, the elbows were out a little bit. You know, nice tough racing. I think it was fair all round. But yeah, the 6 seconds of penalties obviously stuffed me in the end. Vodtek's pace at the end was obviously far superior to myself and Rymac, but I think he pitted a lot later to go onto his mediums.
Yes, he did.
I had to obviously come in when I did, just to try and close the deficit on the undercut that Rymac done on me. So it was a bit of a catch-22. Follow Rymac in the lap after, or stay out. But I decided to come in.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. It was a shame, because would you have hold on if you didn't have those penalties? Obviously, I can't remember where you had those penalties from. Now, was it from the S's part?
Yeah, it was the S's. Yeah. I was just pushing like crazy. I seemed to have pace through there. I seemed to be able to sort of pull away or close in through the S's. So I was trying to push as much as I could do to sort of maximise that going through there.
Yeah.
And obviously pushed it a bit too far at times.
Fair dues, mate. Fair dues. I just, like I said, it was a shame, because obviously you had a good battle, Rymac had a good battle, and then Vodtek out of nowhere just shot himself into first place. But if you had your setup, would it have been a different story tonight after what happened with the qualifying as well? It's still
Who knows?
what
We'll
if.
never know. Yeah, we'll never know. But you know, to be honest, the default setup didn't actually feel too bad. Didn't feel too bad at all. There was just lack of turning. That's what I was struggling with. There was just no turning to the bends in the car whatsoever. So I was having to turn in a lot earlier. I think that's what probably sort of contributed towards the penalties. The car just didn't feel quite right on turn-ins.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Can I just say, before I carry on, well done for getting third place tonight. You did a brilliant job. I know you was gutted with the penalties. I understand that, but a podium is still better than nothing, to be honest, from the racing itself. So from what I saw, your battle with Rymac was top notch. It looked like half of the lap there, where it was like side by side and stuff. But that was just brilliant stuff there as well. But last two questions from you before you shoot off. It is the Azerbaijan track. So what are your thoughts of the track, and what are your expectations after the Christmas break?
I like the track. Like Rymac said, you know, it's probably one of the favourite street circuits. I mean, my all-time favourite track happens to be a street circuit, which is Singapore. So I'm looking forward to that round. But yeah, Azerbaijan, good track, and hopefully you can pick up some strong points again.
Have to wait and see. Will it be Mr. P holding on for that first ever trophy? We'll have to wait and see. Or could it be Ryback? Could it be anyone on that one? But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But well done for tonight, Mr. P. You did a brilliant job. You did got the man with the plan, but without no setup plan on that one as well. So you did a brilliant job there to finish in third place. So that was a brilliant drive from you as well. Thank you very much. Can I just say, I hope you have a very good Christmas and a happy New Year from all at Invictus to everyone here at the top three as well.
And to you guys as well. Have a good Christmas, anyone that's listening to the stream, and all the guys in the league, and yourself and Tim, great job on commentating again. So yeah, see you all in the new year.
Thank you very much, Mr. P. Thank you very much. You can stay if you want, or you can shoot off. It's up to you. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. Absolute pleasure. as always.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
Nice one. So I'd like to thank Vodtech on his brilliant win as well on his interview questions. I know it was short, but he didn't have the mic with him, so hopefully when he does get the mic, he will get the chance to speak to us properly then. But we had to do this question short. Well done to Rymac for second place. He's finally going to the podium here as well. F1 Mr. P on his podium finish as well. He nearly missed out by Gasto, but like I said, just hold on there with the podium there. So he did a brilliant job to finish up in third place here. So can I just say massive thank you to everyone that's watched the stream here for the final time before we have our Christmas break. Can you please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel for all the live races here. It's been an absolute blast here. But can I just say a massive thank you to the drivers here of the Invictus Racing League as well for all that what they do as well. Thank all the admins as well. And everyone here, especially Tim as well for the commentating. The greatest American commentator of them all on his hometown Grand Prix as well. It was an absolute yeehaw best on that one, wasn't it, Tim?
Yeah, Performance League and F3 League, both races did not fail to entertain, and those were the races that I love to see.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Tim. Absolute legend. Thank you to everyone here as well. I wish you all from Invictus Racing League a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We will be back after the Christmas break, after the New Year. I believe it might be 2 weeks for the Azerbaijan, which is round 6 of the F3 League, as well as everyone else for the F1, the Realistic Performance League, and also F2 as well. But thank you very much, guys. This was the Invictus Racing League at the glorious race of the US of A Grand Prix with myself and the greatest American commentator of them all, Tim. Absolute legend there. So Tim, have a very good Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you after the break there. So cheers for that, guys. I'll see you all after the Christmas and New Year. Ta-ra a bit. Bye-bye.